please.
We've heard from several of your Republican colleagues, including Senator Tom Tillis, asking for Congress to reconvene so that more federal funding can be brought to Western North Carolina. Do you expect to ask your colleagues to return to Congress?
Well, I would be in favor of it. Yeah, this is a very unusual situation, and I would be in favor of it. Now, in theory, they're supposed to have it, but they spent a lot of money on bringing illegal migrants, people that came into our country illegally, and taking them in, and all of the money they've spent, numbers that nobody can even believe. So they don't have any money for the people that live here. They got hit by one of the worst storms, possibly the worst storm ever, but one of the worst storms in the history of our country. And it's a shame because they should have the money. They spent money that I don't believe they're supposed to be spending for that, as you know. So I think it's a disgrace what happened with FEMA, what's happened with their rescue effort. Their rescue effort was almost non-existent. And by the way, I want to thank a man who was really incredible. When I came here, close to here, but not, I couldn't come here because it was not the appropriate thing, as I told you. But I got to know a couple of people from North Carolina, officials that were terrific, doing a very good job, very much involved. And they said, do you know Elon Musk? I said, I happen to know the gentleman. What's your problem? Do you think you could get Starlink? I said, what is Starlink? Explain to me. That was communication. Because as you know, your communication, I see the poles all ripped down all over. You had almost no communication here. And I said, so what do you need? He said, we need Starlink and we can't get it. There's nobody that knows anything about how to get it. So I called Elon, and literally, actually, strange, before I hung up, they called that man that I spoke to. I said, Elon, I just asked you, and we're still on the phone. How'd you do that? So he did. I don't think he wanted to tell me, but it was pretty amazing. And he got it here really in record time. There were some delays that shouldn't have happened on behalf of the federal government, but that was straightened out. But he had Starlink here, and your communications went from non-existent to probably almost better than what it was before. And so I want to thank Elon Musk for having done a great job. He took care of a very important need. Probably saved, Ted, probably saved a lot of lives because this was really an emergency. And you had it here like almost instantly. It's very hard to get too. It's been pretty popular and very hard to get. Thank you.
Mr. President, clearly a lot of people here are looking to you to save them and bring them relief. And what better way than to win the White House in 2 weeks?
Right.
I know that you're happy with early results. Are you satisfied with everything this state is doing the election wars to help these people get to the ballot box? Are you satisfied with it?
Well, I'm not hearing the good things about the governor here like I'm hearing about the governor in Georgia, as an example. I'm hearing the governor in Georgia has done a very good job, and I don't really know the governor here, but I'm not hearing that he's done a very good job. So that's the only thing I can say. And certainly you have all heard the same stories that we all hear, that FEMA has done a very poor job. Our FEMA, when we had a problem, we did record rescues. And what the job that FEMA did under the Trump administration was really incredible. But they had spent, in all fairness to FEMA, they had spent hundreds of millions of dollars doing other things that I don't think bear any relationship to this money. They were not supposed to be spending the money on taking in illegal migrants, maybe so they could vote in the election, because that's a lot of people are saying that's why they're doing it. I don't know. I hope that's not why they're doing it. So they really didn't have any money. They don't have very much money. And now they're saying, can we have a special vote? Let's have a special session. I'm in favor of that, but somebody has to get back to why did they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on something that they were not supposed to be spending it on? Okay.
Are you worried that some people here won't be able to vote?
Look, voting is the least of it right now. They got to vote. They want to vote because it's very important, but they have to survive. That's why I can't believe the early voting. I mean, the early voting is records. I can't, when they told me that, I was shocked. I got a call from Michael Watley. He said, "Sir, you're not going to believe this, but they're setting records in North Carolina voting." And it's just that they're great people. I mean, they lost their house and they're standing outside voting. So obviously we want them to vote, but we want them to live and survive and be happy and healthy, because this is really a tragedy. It's really something. Yeah.